podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
You're listening to Achtung Millwall, broadcasting from the beautiful South Birmingham. Accept no substitute.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome everyone to the Vicarage Road. You're listening to Achtung Millwall. My name is Nick Hart. As you can probably tell, with the Lions and Watford are just entering the pitch to a mass scarf display down at the home end to the far end. I think that's called the Rookery end here at Vicarage Road Stadium. Everyone's got their yellow, red and black scarves up, old Anfield style. Welcome to the show, Gillis. This is a crucial 6 points a game. Watford sit just one place behind us in the Championship table, of course. The Lions come into the game on 43 points, Watford on 41. We're fifth, they're sixth. Your Lions this afternoon, dear listeners, Crocombe in goal. Back line, Kramer, Cooper, Taylor, Doughty, I think, in the left-back position. Return of Casper Denor starting. Bold move. Let's hope that works out well. Casper Denor starting, good to see him back. Billy Mitchell alongside him. In front of them, Femi Aziz, Kamil Negli, Turnell Ballo, and up front, Mihailo Ivanovic, dear listeners. Yes, indeed. 12:30 kick-off, dear listeners. We've had a bit of rain, we've had a bit of grey, a bit of niceness, and now we've got a bit of sunshine, brilliant sunshine out there on the Watford pitch. 2,200 Millwall fans have made the journey up here to Vicarage Road. Every time I drive here, I always find myself taking a wrong turning around their ring road system. And I finished up in the bowels, the very bowels of Watford itself, dear listeners. But thankfully I found my way up and parked in the church car park, just a short walk down to the stadium. I was just saying to the chaps behind me, it's always quite interesting when you come to away games where the stadium is actually in the middle of a city. There's nice places to get something to eat, bars and pubs. Whereas the Den always, and the thing I love about it is it's in the midst of a wasteland, almost a post-apocalyptic wasteland with a bone temple or something. It's part of the attraction. Real sporting fine voice, as you can hear. I did see Cundles on the bench, turning players from injury. Chap behind me, very pleased we've won the toss and we're going to change ends. So Millwall will be attacking the away support in our away support in the first half. Hopefully to the annoyance of Watford. We'll see how annoyed they are. Watford, of course, in their yellow and red striped shirts, red shorts, Lions in dark blue and white. Bit of Elton John for you listeners, and then playing in the background. Tasteful after dinner music for you. It's going to be Watford to kick us off. Away we go. The only advantage of a 12:30 kick-off that I find is the traffic is a lot easier to drive to and from the game. That's about all I can say. But otherwise, it throws your routine out completely. All I've had is a bowl of cornflakes this morning, listeners. So if I start to come across as hunger crazed at any point during the proceedings, do message me to say get a bit more to eat next time. I had a pre-written gag lined up about the sound of tumbleweed and the hot Sirocco wind blowing down Main Street or something, which is the Millwall transfer recruitment team signing so far this season. We've had a lot of players going out. I'm going to speak from memory, listeners. Kamal Grant's gone on loan to Blackpool this week after that thumping up there at Burnley last week. Kamal Grant's been loaned out to Blackpool for the rest of the season. I saw AJ Matthews has gone to Leighton Orient again for the remainder of the season. One other that old Bender's gone back to Fulham, which I don't think he was not loved at the Den, was he, Stephen Bender? He's been sent back on the 73 bus to Craven Cottage. To no great regrets at the Den. Femi Aziz short throw with Kamil Negli, balls into the middle. Headed clear, this is Doughty. Chips into the middle, there's header on target from Caleb Taylor, tipped over the bar to the right-sided corner. For Millwall, good chance there. Lovely little chippy ball back into the action, and Caleb got the top of his scalp into it. Well saved by the keeper, in fairness to him. So left side corner, Doughty to take it. First chance of the game. We're on 6 going to 7 minutes. In comes the corner. Bodies flying everywhere. Jake Cooper and the 6, and the referee blows for an infringement of some sort. Don't ask me what. So a nice little 1-2ing down the right wing. This is Tristan Kramer. Into the right side corner. As he was crossing it in, came off the defender there. Nice play, Millwall. Lovely little through ball there from Casper. This is Caden Taylor. Will he have a go? He will. Daisy cutter taken reasonably simply by the goalkeeper there. Ball over the top. This Doughty takes it beautifully, chips it into the danger zone. That's going to be headed behind for a right-sided corner. Beautifully balled in from Alfie Doughty there, dear listeners. Elegantly done. 14 minutes. Rightly being applauded by the travelling support. That was an absolute exquisite chip into the box. Right side corner. Doughty to take it. And it's up in the air in the penalty area. That's it. That's it, one of my golf shots, listeners. The ball boys just come on the pitch and caught it before it's gone out. I don't know what the rule is. Millwall fans incensed at this outrage. He's come onto the pitch and caught the ball before it's gone out of play. Off. He don't know what to do here. He's surrounded by 3 yellow shirts. They're all high-fiving the kid. He had a sudden rush of blood to the head there. What's he going to do? Drop the ball here, I suppose? Kid's about 14, 15 years old. Got himself overexcited and come into the field of play. I've never seen that before. Never seen that before. I don't think the referee knows what to do here. He's given a drop ball to Millwall. How's that work? Drops his Femi Aziz. We're back in play. It falls to a little chippy kind of cross. It's going to go to... Ooh. That's the ball boy. Theatre of cruelty here, listeners. I think they're going to wake him away. Here comes the high-vis mob. The security coming into the ground today, listeners, was something else. Everyone was, not just me. I was metal detected at Heathrow Airport level outside, and as soon as you had that done, you're then patted down by another. I think it's easy to get into Belmarsh prison. It is Vicarage Road. I don't know what they were looking for. I'm brandishing my 65-year-old plus ticket at them. Maybe that don't count on Millwall, I don't know. 17 going towards 18 minutes. It's been a bright start on the lines. I got slightly sidetracked there amongst all that ball boy malarkey. We've played some nice stuff. I suppose the Taylor chance will be the standout moment of the opening 17, 18 minutes. Good save by their goalkeeper, in fairness, but no, a very bright start by the Lions. We're playing some good stuff. The female linesman out there, listeners. Full play out there. This is Femi Aziz now on the edge of the D. She kind of can't feel it through. Shot. Ooh, just inches over the bar. From Femi, as the ball got away from him slightly there, flips it in. That was just a few inches over the bar. It was quite close from my angle. 24 minutes. a drum going here. Let's see having a drum like that going to give you a right up. I don't want to sound like Victor Meldrew. It was a great post the other day from football history, I think it was. Things in modern football that annoy you, such as half and half scarves and the like, drums being chief amongst the modern football annoyances. Just so patsy, aren't they? Someone made the point that modern football seems to try its best to imitate continental fan culture, which was in itself their take on British football fan culture, going back to the 60s and 70s, the songs of the terraces, etc., etc. So, passing the ball out the back here, I'm just almost breaking concentration whilst we just about do that. So it's a laughable kind of like photocopying the same document 10 times over to try and pick up an Italian football culture, which is itself a copy of British old football culture. Some total it being it's a laughable thing to do. Another Watford player's gone down, therefore he's quick to blow up. We do have possession just on the halfway line here. Bloke next to me has come back with a sausage roll from downstairs, listeners. I've had a bowl of cornflakes for my breakfast and it smells. If there was a smell equivalent of a Kohinoor diamond, that's what that sausage roll smells like, and I'm sure it's a stadium sausage roll. So in comes a cross then from Crime. It falls to Doughty. Shot! Oh! Over the bar. Big chance. Ball crossing from the right side. Go to Doughty. Power shot was over the bar. Should have done better. Should have hit the target from there, dear listeners. Big chance. 42 minutes. All the big chances of this half so far fall in Millwall's way. Maybe that was the best of them. I don't know. Should have had that. Should have scored that. Should have had that, yeah. Chance, late chance in the half. A 42 on the left side. Mill penalty area. He's running into the middle. Ooh, that was a moment there to be cleared from the forward crowding near the penalty spot. It's gone for a left side corner. It would have been unjust if they'd have got a goal there. Left side corner. That's the first Watford corner of the half. Any moment now for the final whistle. Probably let this little phase go through and call it half time. Deep one, headed back wide. A free header actually from deep. Looping kind of header wide. There is half time. It finishes 0-0. I say Mill had by far the best of that half. 2 or 3 very decent chances. The Lions going at the break, if you like it or not, at 0-0. Welcome back, dear listeners. We're awaiting the entrance of the Watford side. Looks like a substitution. Macaulay Langstaff is coming into the game for Casper Donor. Casper Donor did half the game. First game back from injury, of course. Macaulay comes in to work with 2. With Mihailo up front. I'm going to guess we're going to go 4-4-2 in that case. So it's going to be Mill to kick us off, second half, dear listeners. Guessing it's the old traditional 4-4-2, a bit like the old traditional Cornish pasties you get from the West Cornwall Pasty Company at London Bridge. Always a nice filler, and I like my 4-4-2. Let's hope we get a result here. They're away. I suppose you sat next to the bloke with the drum, listeners. Having that for 90 minutes. I won't keep going on about drums and modern football, but bloody hell. I suppose you did. Bobby's flying in midfield there, no challenge given. Watford breaking. Great tackle there from Camille Negley, dear listeners. I hope my Camille Negley fan club next to me up in Birdship Corner and next week will be remember that. Great tackle there. This is Aziz, ball in from the right side. There's chance from Langstaff. Diving header. Wow, should have taken that, listeners. Put beautiful cross in. Macaulay Langstaff at the far post puts it over the bar. Wow. Big moment there. 50 minutes. Watford looking a bit more assured so far in the second half. Lions fans are sensing that and getting behind their 11. Great tackle there by Taylor. This is Aziz. draws a free kick. They've done well there. I thought he was losing control of that ball, but the referee says he was balked on the centre circle. Ball in, this is a chance here for Watford. 16, good work from Crocombe to disrupt the 16 there. This was a moment, I thought that was going to be put into the centre for a goal, open goal. Crocombe did well there, it's going to go for a left-sided corner. Wow, it's 55 minutes. Oh, Ince. Son of Paul Ince, number 7. Well, we're ticking towards the 60th minute, listeners. I think the Lions have been a little bit on the back foot at the start of the second half. A lot more Watford pressing and pressure. Lions have not looked as fluent as they did in the first, although there was that wonderful chance from Macaulay Langstaff from the right side there, across in front of goal, which probably we feel he should have got on target. Anyway, this is Watford now on the right side. 42 can't get past Jake Cooper like a human wall. He's rolling around on the floor. And the three waves play along. He's up now, he's all right now, running like a greyhound out there. Cheating little so-and-so, that 42, listeners, rolling around on the floor like he's being shot, and then he's up and running. This is Watford pressing forward to 42. Wide. Not very handsome. On the edge of the D there. What are we on? 62. The only thing I'd say with Ballo sometimes is this has got a little challenge there, not very lightweight. Talented boy, but lightweight. This is great work by an equally talented boy, Arrivederci, to dispossess that 42. Looks like Coburn to come in, listeners. Going to guess Ivanovic to come out, listeners. Coburn to come in. 7, no Ballo. Not been his most effective game, Ballo. As I say, he's looked a little bit lightweight in points in this game. Oh, it is going to be Ivanovic as well. It's like Marku for Ballo and Coburn for Mihailo. Welcome return of Josh Coburn. Alongside Macaulay Langstaff, 2-man forward line, listeners. Watford on our right at the moment. Dummy. Shot to the far post, swing for the side netting. That was their best opportunity. It was a shot across goal. The 16 had a free opportunity there at the far post and put it into the side net. We dodge a bullet, listeners. 66 minutes. 1-2, this is Crime on the right side, if we do. Oh, that was a cross and a half. That was Doughty picks up the left corner flag. Ball back into the middle. That's a cross and a half. That's a long one. That's in the air for Crime. It falls to Aziz.
Yes! Femi Aziz! 1-0 Millwall! Slides it home into the 6-yard box. Lions leading 1-0. Huge goal, huge! Beautifully struck goal by Femi Aziz, dear listeners. Millwall. At last, one of the chances goes in the net. Great goal. Well put away there by Femi Aziz, dear listeners, as you would expect. A lot of deep crosses. It falls to Femi, edge to the 6-yard box and slides it home with a plum. 1-0 Millwall. What are we on? I'd say 70 minutes. 20 minutes to go. Lions have the advantage then, listeners. Deserved across the whole pitch. I've got all Shakespearean, ladies and gentlemen. Deserved. Where's that come from? Well deserved. We can hold this out. It'll be a huge 3 points if we can hold on to this, listeners. But we do face a dangerous looking free kick here. Probably 24 going to 30 yards. Just left of the D. Here we go. Batted away at the near post by Crocombe there.
cleared in the end by Negley. Number 9 was diving around like the final scene from Swan Lake. I'm sure you know it well. The dying swan who's looking for a penalty, listeners. This is the Graham Taylor tribute, buddy. They're showing their scarf down at the home end there, listeners. Round of applause. I think it is. Applause from the Millwall end as well. Graham Taylor took them from the 4th division into the 1st division cup final, I think. Yeah, yes, wasn't it? The 84th cup final. I think they lost to Everton in the FA Cup final. Went on to manage England and became something of a jokey figure with the whole do I not like that business. You know, we got stitched up with that TV documentary when we failed to qualify for a World Cup. All into the middle, that's headed away by Arrivederci. A good manager, solid manager of men, and a legend here at this club. Otherwise, I've got a lot of time for Graham Taylor, who's very much old school football figure. Not as bad an England manager as it is portrayed, in my opinion. He played what the players he had available at the time. Applause from all around the stadium, incidentally, there, listeners, which is nice to see. It's an old favourite. One from the Mill songbook, listeners. I've always loved the ambition of that song. How many European Cups and Premier League and League Championships excluding West Ham, between those two sides, yet we are saying, fuck them all. Ball breaks. This is Langstaff chasing down the 6th quarter. Nice work by Coburn over there on the far side. 77 minutes. This is Negley, little through ball. This is Coburn. 2-0 Millwall! Just Coburn slotting over the club. Danger Nash! Fucking hell! Beautiful ball through the middle. Just Coburn puts it away like a king. Like a boss! Blimey! What a finish! What a finish! Right change though, isn't it? Yeah. Nice finish. The away end's gone bonkers, listeners. People filing for the exits from the Watford stands. Really nice finish.
Haven't lost at home since September.
No, I think we kept them very quiet. Start of the second half, they come into it, but the first half they were nowhere.
Yeah, we've done well.
Now we've killed them off. Oh, hopefully. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I find myself getting too bold in my talk, listeners. I've got my gypsy rabbit's foot out here, my lucky heifer. We've still got, what have we got now? About 8 minutes of regular time, on about 82 minutes. And there'll be some added time to go. But that's a beautiful finish there from Josh Coburn, listeners. Lovely ball through the middle. Put away with aplomb. Class work there by Billy Mitchell, closing down there. A little bit of fisticuffs. What's going on now? With his eyeballing in, that's what the crowd want to see. It's turned into a ruckus out there. Calm down, says Alex Mill. Rightly so. Jake pulls the 34 away like I might have picked up a sack of potatoes, listeners. And I do my backing. Crocom's gone in there, you've got a big Kiwi, you've got Jake Cooper pointing fingers. Telling them what for. I'd have to see that little fucker again. Looked like Billy was up against the. He's one of our own, absolutely. He's one of our own. Billy Mitchell. He's one of our own. Billy being spoken to. Oh, good referee. Yeah. No cards shown there. Good boy. And a free kick to Millwall. I've got 86 minutes on my watch. There's going to be quite a bit of added time, one way or the other. The 2 goals and subs. Looks like this is Sturge has come in.
Watford fans filing for the door. Cundall brings away. You might have missed Cundall coming into the game at some point, listeners. Like I say, don't come here for the professionalism, do you? Achtung, Millwall. Apart from an early phase of the second half, they've really not shown much at all. I think it's been a magnificent professional performance by the Lions overall. Certainly a dominant first half where I felt that we'd be disappointed not to come away with more. McCauley clearing his lines there. Second half they had a little bit of a flurry at the start of the second period where I thought maybe they might get something out of the game, but once we've gone ahead thanks to that Femi Aziz finish, and then especially since the Josh Coburn killer, they've really not looked up to much at all. And I'm saying all that about top 5 opponents, top 6 opponents, listeners. So this is some performance that we've seen. My man of the match this afternoon, I'm going to go with Alfie Doughty. I've really liked his touch. I've liked the look of Camille Negri too, but Doughty is my choice for man of the match. Ball into the middle, that's headed clear by the man himself, Alfie Doughty. He should be looking at time any moment now. Ball in from the right side, into the side netting. There's the final whistle, it finishes Watford 0. Millwall to magnificent professional performance by the Lions. Goals from Femi Aziz and from Josh Coburn finished the Hornets off. They didn't look up to much at all, and they've come into this game with, in form, a team that highly rated. Brilliant showing by the Lions. Wonderful away win. This really does start to feel like something special this season. Wonderful stuff. It finishes 2-0 at Vicarage Road, dear listeners.
Achtung, Millwall.
Welcome back, dear listeners, after that magnificent 2-0 win at Vicarage Road. Joining me to chew over matters Watford related, Ben Anthony. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you very much, Nick. Hello, listeners.
What a performance that was, Ben. I was just trying to think of an equivalent performance. I'm going back to that 3-0 win just before COVID really took hold at Nottingham Forest back in 2020. That was the most complete Millwall performance I've seen in that length of time, and probably for some time before that. Wonderful overall showing by the Lions yesterday, I felt.
Yeah, absolutely. I just thought some of the style of play was really impressive. We were very dominant. I don't think that was a particularly good showing from that Watford side. I think that they are better than what they showed, and I think part of that, particularly the first half, was they just were not prepared for the sort of football we were playing. I
No.
felt like we were very together, and I thought the players showed that they really know each other's game, and they're full of confidence in league football. And yeah, it all came together really nicely yesterday. I was very impressed.
Yeah, I thought the quality of some of our play, we had a really strong first half. I do agree that Watford didn't play particularly well by their standards. They're a decent team. They're a form team coming into the game. This is another point I wanted to stress, listeners. Apart from the FA Cup, which we're going to discount last week, I think everyone's wanted to get that out of the way. But they were on the back of 4 successive wins, Ben, and very much touted as the hot team in the league at the moment anyway, and you would not have known that from the entire 90 minutes. They had a little bit of a flurry at the start of the second half where they improved a touch, but they didn't create that many chances. There was one moment that sticks in my mind. I was behind the goal, and there was a moment where they had a striker loose on the left side as I was looking. The right side as I was looking, their left, and he shot into the side netting. But I don't remember much in the way of direct chances for them, Ben. A lot of possession, classic, but not much in the way of danger in front of goal.
Yeah, it wasn't until that sort of almost last kick of the half, wasn't it? They
Had a couple of
that
moments.
shot, yeah.
Yeah.
That was their real chance. The commentators were delighted because they could say that was the one good chance in the game, and make it look like we weren't in it.
I would have to disagree with those commentators. They weren't in the Millwall end. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, but I thought it was definitely comfortably us as the stronger side. I remember Aziz having a really good chance. Doughty probably having the best chance of the half.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you were
Taylor touched a header onto, and
Yes.
the goalkeeper made a decent save.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know what it looked like on TV, but behind the goal, it was a really good save, almost from underneath the bar, and he palmed it over.
Yeah.
So there was 3 scoreable chances there, Ben, which I must admit, as the half closed, I thought that might cost us a little bit, but it wasn't to prove to be so because the departure of the half time, I thought it was really good to see Casper De Norre back in the B.
Mhm.
Left us at half time, coming back off of injury, of course. So we switched to kind of, I believe it was a 4-4-2. I'm not big on numbers or underlying numbers, to quote the Not the 20 podcast show, whose underlying numbers said we had no chance at Vicarage Road yesterday. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, second half, we really came on strong. There was a chance, magnificent chance from Macaulay Langstaff. I did feel for the boy. He's so industrious, Ben. He puts so much effort. He's so genuine a player. He's an honest player, but he just doesn't have the scoring touch at this level, it seems, does he?
He's bought some sort of cursed hand thing from a shop or something that's meant whatever happens, he can't put the ball in the net. Yeah, the poor guy. I mean,
Uh,
it was a really good chance. I was raging when it happened, but you know,
yeah.
after the win, you can sort of calm down a bit. It's coming. He's got a couple, isn't he? This season.
He's getting himself in
This
positions.
is
That's
it.
good to
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
And he works well as a two. I mean, that was with Ivanovic, who I think also improves when he's got some help and assistance
yeah,
up front with him. And I'd probably even say the same with Coburn, in fairness to the boy, when he did come in. But that was a Femi Aziz cross, and I must admit, I thought that was our moment again. We
yeah.
were just not taking, we were creating and not taking chances. And then gradually, it just seemed to me that Watford was starting to get their act together a little bit. They had that chance I've just mentioned where they shot into the side netting, and I think that actually came, if memory serves, not long before the opening goal by Femi, from a kind of a nod down. It seemed the ball seemed to go back and forth across their penalty area and get nodded down to him, and that was a real goal scorer's take there. Really, really good to see. It was a scuffed kind of shot, but it went in the net, and that's all you can do, isn't it?
Yeah, it was sort of a bizarre 1-2 between Kramer and Doughty on opposite sides of the pitch. Kramer did a ridiculous overpowered cross that Doughty then
That's right.
crossed back to Kramer, who then nodded it down. I forget who it came down to in the end, and then Femi finished it off. It was a nice move in the end, um,
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely. And to get in front, obviously, that's the big advantage. That's generally speaking, the team that scores first is always in the driving seat. Not always, but Watford did still hadn't quite given up on the game at that point. I must admit, you get a bit itchy and scratchy in the away end when you've got this slender lead, Ben, and a huge 3 points at stake. But the second goal really killed it off, and that was a wonderful, wonderful move and finish by the boy himself, Josh Coburn, coming back after injury, and that's 2 goals in 2 games. If you include last week's game at Burnley, but really nice finish.
yeah. I mean, the thing with Coburn, he's not spectacular in terms of his actual footballing play or skills, but
It's football IQ.
yeah,
That's what they say on
yeah.
Not the 20 podcast. The
But
football IQ.
he can just finish off a chance. He gets in the right position, the right sort of ball, that sort of we've seen that twice now, the sort of through ball to him. And
Yeah,
with the ball at his feet, he's able to finish it off and put the ball in the back of the net. And ultimately, as a striker, that's his job. That's what he's paid to do. So you have to give him a lot of credit and say he could make a big difference for us if he can
yeah,
stay fit for the remainder of this season.
yeah. That's the big if of Millwall's season, isn't it? If we can
Mm.
stay fit, but you did start to get the first sense of what a good team we can be potentially if we are fit with a relatively full palette of players to choose from for Alex Neil. But I just want to mention Camille Negley, Ben, as well, 'cause that was a beautiful
Yeah,
ball through the middle to find Coburn. And I got, well, I had a slightly eccentric exchange with somebody online the other day where they were almost condemning me for not mentioning Camille Negley for various oddball reasons. Apparently, I hadn't mentioned him enough. I do want to mention him today because that was a beautiful ball, and he really did well across the whole game.
mhm.
He's a player that's really developing, and it's good to see. He's really coming on strong now, and that was a fantastic lay on
The
for Josh
biggest
Coburn.
the biggest compliment I can give him, really, and it is that I didn't hugely miss De Norre in the second half.
No,
He was
no,
the one pulled
no,
back into that position, and I thought it was pretty seamless actually, and
yeah.
he did a fantastic job, I have to say.
Yeah. The other player I wanted to mention, my man of the match, in truth, is Alfie Doughty.
Mhm.
Some of the balls he was playing, Ben, and again, I don't know how much of it came over on the TV in quite the same way as it did in real time, but some of the balls he was playing were absolutely exquisite. And he has an ability on a slightly higher level than what we've been used to at the Den. He can play balls into space, and thankfully we do have some players now that are starting to read these balls and make runs into space where he can find them. He's a very, very good player, and I think he was struggling with some weight earlier on in the season, and he's now looking the real deal. And I thought he was man of the match yesterday, personally.
Yeah, you can see now he's fully recovered from that injury he had earlier in the season. I think the Alex Neil and the management team have carefully managed his minutes,
Yeah,
particularly over that
yeah,
Christmas
worked on
period,
it.
and
Yeah,
I think that was a really wise choice because you're seeing the benefit of it now. And yeah, he's in a really rich vein of form, and I thought he did not just the attacking and the crossing side of it, but I thought he did the defensive side of that position really well as well.
agreed.
Yeah, all credit to him, and I fully agree. I thought of him as sort of man of the match material.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, what a performance! I had to laugh before the game. We were watching in the pre kickoff, we were watching the kickabout, and someone behind me said, "We're doing stretching exercises," like it was some kind of revelation that there's a new approach now. Yogic kind of stretching was going on. I said, "Well, it's got to be down to this new fitness and conditioning coach that's come in. He's brought in stretching so you don't pull your hamstring." Revelatory stuff at the Den, dear listeners. Three massive points for the Lions, Ben. That puts us into consolidates us in fourth position now. We've got 5 points, clear blue water between us and the start of the non-playoff places.
Mhm.
This is a pretty strong position to be in. We're only 3 points behind Middlesbrough in second. They keep winning, but we're matching them at the moment. Long way to go. 19 games yet to play in this league, but we're coming down to the kind of business end of the season. This is a wonderful position to be in at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know if anyone at the club needs to hear this. We are in a transfer window, so we could actually get a couple of players to help boost that and push us. I know the classic. They're going to feel like a new signing when they come back from injury is a thing, but we're pushing that to the limit.
We are pushing
Yeah,
to the max. We had Luke Cundle come in yesterday, but that is stretching that point. I
yeah,
like Luke Cundle, but there is a transfer window. We just seem to have the route out at the moment. We don't have like the intro and the outro. We're getting a lot of players going out, including the little love Stephen Bender going back to Fulham. But we
yeah.
don't not
Although
seem to get anyone in yet. It's interesting, isn't it?
exclusive for you, Nick. I did hear we are in talks with that Ball Boys agent to come in as a replacement goalkeeper.
That was the most. I've never seen anything like it. And listeners, this is not a video podcast. I was just saying to Ben just as well this morning because I haven't had a wash or anything to do this show, but so it wouldn't be a very pretty sight. But I've never ever seen anything to match the ball boy incident in 50. Oh God Almighty, a long while, 50 plus years. I'm not going to add them up anymore. I've never seen anything like it, and I was actually moved to ask AI, ChatGPT, Ben, what the rule is on such incidents. I don't think the referee was quite. He got it right in the end, and fair play to that referee because I thought he got it wrong. But ChatGPT tells me that according to law 12 of the International Football Association Board, laws of the game. Ball boys and ball persons. Let's get it on the whole the woke show, listeners. Ball people are not players or match officials. They are designated, Ben, as outside agents, not Vladimir Putin's agents, listeners. This is outside agents. So if a ball boy enters the pitch and handles the ball, then play is stopped, which he did do. The referee must stop play. And what happens next, apparently, is depending on what was happening when the interference occurred. Now, it was probably one of the worst shots I think Casper Denor has ever done. It was a really it reminded me of my golf game, Ben. It was always if I'm aiming straight, the ball will go at least 45, if not 50, 60 degrees away from the angle that I'm aiming at. It was that kind of shot. And if the ball, it's a drop ball basically, depending on what was happening. So if in effect if it's inside the penalty area, the defending team's goalkeeper gets the ball as a drop ball.
Okay.
If it's outside, it goes to the team that last touched the ball, which seems a very odd rule because it actually went correctly as a drop ball to us, because I think Casper shot from outside the D very wildly. It would have gone for a throw into Watford. Ball boy comes in, catches it, and then we get a drop ball back, almost like we were rewarded for the terrible shot. Very odd rule, but it was correct. Ball boys can't be cautioned or sent off, incidentally, listeners, since they're not players. The referee may warn or remove the ball boy from duties and then report the incident to the authorities. Poor boy. He was only about 14, 15.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for the kid. He's caught full vent of 2,000 Millwall fans.
Well, some of it was so funny. You could hear it on the TV when he got moved and they replaced them with another ball
They
boy.
oinked him in the end. Yes, they did. Yeah.
And there was a moment when the steward threw the ball back on the pitch, and I heard the fans saying, "You'll never be the ball boy" or something. It's very, very funny.
There's a journey in these matters. They take the piss out of you relentlessly, but they kind of love you as well because you're now a character that they can both dig out. But there's an implied love in that.
Yeah.
Odd as it sounds. So they replaced him about halfway through the first half. I thought they were going to do it immediately. They took a little while. And then the next kid came along, was equally a character. He's sitting there in the rain, pouring down the rain with his hoodie up. And then having to go at him. They want the previous one back. And it was just, I don't know, great stuff. I've never seen anything like that before. That was wonderful.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again. But if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now. You call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.
And then there was a little bit of spate of handbags at the end of the game. Billy, I think, hats off to Billy because he stood his ground with this ponytailed, kind of slick. I don't know what his name was. Was it Loser? Was it Loser? Aptly named player. But yeah, it was eyeball to eyeball, and then there was a lot of pushing and shoving, and of course, as they always say, like they said at Bristol, this is exactly what the crowd want to see. Forget all this. Don't want to see it in the game. It was good stuff. Good to see Billy standing his ground, though. There was a real sense there, Ben, joking aside, of unity within that squad, and that's what's going to take us a long way. So I say well done to the boys there. It was handbags in the end, but you've got to stand your ground with these players. I did think Watford were a despicable example of modern football, rolling around at every opportunity. I couldn't. With that and the drum that was going incessantly inside the ground, Ben, I couldn't watch that personally. I would hate it. I don't like it when if we try and pull little strokes like it, but to sit there and watch that and that's your team, I don't know. It doesn't sit right with me. That's anti-modern football, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think that's in our DNA, isn't it?
That's true.
I think the handbags was kind of them. They seemed to lose their head when they stopped getting decisions. And the referee eventually wised up to the fact that they are just rolling around at the slightest touch, and he stopped giving them the decisions they wanted, and they seemed to just lose their head. And fair play to the Millwall players. They kept their cool, and sort of defended themselves and backed themselves up, but didn't overstep the mark. And
no,
I thought it was a perfect kind of game management. Dark arts or whatever you want to call it is kind of we managed that really well.
Well, I think it was interesting when it was on the brink of going into flare-up mode. Alex Neil was quite visibly on the pitch telling them all to calm down, don't get involved, let the referee do whatever he's going to do. And in fairness to the referee, he got that ball boy rule right, even though I must admit I didn't know what it was, but your instinct is always he's made a mess of it, but he didn't got it right according to the rules. He actually handled that with a degree of sense because there was no yellow cards shown on either side. There was just like calm down, move on. We're nearly at the end of the game, and I thought that was actually decent refereeing by him. So fair play to him.
That was their first home defeat, Ben, since September. They're a decent side, and I thought we made them
Yeah,
look very ordinary yesterday. That's quite a tribute to that Mill side, I thought.
yeah, I didn't realise that. That's
Yeah,
really good. Yeah, that's very impressive.
just looking at the BBC, that was Watford's first defeat at Vicarage Road since September. Just their second at home in the Championship. They must have been beaten before September. But no, I thought we made them, and I was expecting when we saw them at the Den, which was back in, I think it was around about September-ish or maybe October, I can't remember. But I thought they looked a decent team. We won that 1-0. That's 6 points we've taken off of promotion rivals,
Yeah,
Watford and Bristol City. Teams that are in the mix. And I just get a sense, I don't like to tempt the football fates, Ben, but I just get a sense the wind is blowing behind us. The wind is in our sails. If you long way to go, so you've got to put that caveat in there. But these are big wins over big sides in the division.
yeah,
I get a sense of something special going on here.
yeah. We've got to take this opportunity and nick points when everyone's against us, and we've got to try and sort of push forward and skip past the traditional Millwall banana skins of losing to the bottom teams and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Where before we would have lost if we can nick a draw, and where before we would have struggled to get a draw, maybe we can nick the odd win. That makes all
yeah.
the difference. And if we keep this sort of form going, we'll be there. Despite what any underlying numbers say and what our goal difference says and whatever. I genuinely would love to see us be. We would have surely be one of the first teams to get promoted with negative goal difference. I think it would be
That would be a wonderful achievement,
very
wouldn't
apt,
it?
very funny.
We're digging out not the 20 podcast listeners for their bold talk on one of their clips they put online. But
I do love their show, to be fair, just to put it out there. I do think they do a great show, and they are often positive about Millwall, but it is just very funny, isn't it?
It is. I think we probably should be more worried when they do start tipping us. That's probably the point where the crunch will point will come to us. It's at the moment, I think there's a sense that no one can quite believe that we've achieved. That was what the chap was saying on the show, that we've none of our numbers, the minus goal difference and the losses for the season should put us in the position that we're in. But there we are, we're still a -2 even now, Ben.
It'll be XG, Nick, the biggest load of bollocks in stats in football. I can't stand XG. It's just crap.
XG, no.
Our XG
There's only one.
we should be relegated or something. I don't really care.
That's true. I just stick with G, goals scored. That's all you can really count. Everything else is a kind of a really weird statistical modern nightmare, but that's what the game's all about now. I mean, it's quite a strange table. I will give the bloke, I mean, Ipswich have played one game less than us, but they're on 47 points. We're on 46, one place behind us. They got a goal difference of +21. We've got a -2. It does look... so yeah, there's a weirdness to it, but there wouldn't be Millwall without a little weirdness, listeners, would it? Like, so on to Coventry Tuesday night. That's another big ask. Huge match so soon after that excellent win at Vicarage Road. Listening to Alex Neil speaking post game there, Ben, I think he's going to go for it. He's going to try and go for the win up there, which I think is his mentality. I really love the work that he's doing at the Den. I think that he's really, in inverted commas, got Millwall. I think it's exactly what we want to see from a manager, and that's a big chance. Big chance Tuesday.
We should go for it. We're at our best when we're underdogs normally, so we've got every reason to go for it. And to a certain extent, it's sort of a free hit, isn't it? Everyone's
to some level, yeah,
to win,
that's right.
So why not try and upset them? And then we've got the must not lose of Charlton on Saturday, and it all comes round, doesn't it? So
here we are again. We've got them down here again. We'll see. Two huge games in their different ways. Fundamentally, listeners, every game is huge. Don't matter whether it's Charlton or Coventry. Each game is 3 massive points in a table in a season that is really shaping up to be something special. Let's hope we can maintain that momentum. Just to close us, Ben, I just wanted to mention the tribute to Graham Taylor that was it was around about the 70th minute. I don't know if there was some significance to the minute, but anyway, they put a big picture up of Graham Taylor, former Watford and of course England manager,
And it was a really nice tribute around the whole stadium, including the Millwall end. I'm going to put a little clip of the applause from the Millwall end because I think he was a fundamentally decent bloke who did his best by his club and by his country. So, hats off to the whole stadium for that tribute yesterday. It was a nice touch and a good manager. Ben, I'm going to say thank you, mate. That's wonderful stuff. On we go to Tuesday night. It's an exciting season, mate.
Yes, absolutely. Let's bring it on.
Bring it on. Big thank you to Ben Anthony. Stay tuned, dear listeners.
Hello.
Morning, Nick. Jim Hackett here. Just a couple of observations after our game yesterday. I thought it was a really fantastic performance, considering nobody was quite sure what it was going to be like after the battering we got at Burnley, and I was surprised. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Watford fans felt a little bit the same. So it was interesting to build up to the game and then just see the team that he put out. And I think a lot of people probably surprised that Arrivederci went in at left back, but the quality he's got at his feet, why would you think about leaving him out? I thought the first half we started the game well. We looked comfortable in possession, and the fact that Watford sat off and let us play the ball around the back, if you like, until we got a forward-looking pass. It was a bit of a surprise, but then that's Watford, isn't it? And I thought that Casper and Billy, again, you saw them both. Billy took the left-hand side of the centre of the park in possession, and Casper had the right. And we looked to play simple football, balls into feet, move it out until we got wide, and then obviously try and do some damage with crosses and playing the ball through. But I thought first half we probably could have had a goal or two. I thought Taylor possibly he got his head on it, but if either side of the keeper, I think it might have stood a better chance of going in. And then Arrivederci's shot right at the end, if only it had been on target. But I'm sure he's a better place than me to see why it didn't get on target. But I thought, get to half time, everybody was comfortable and we looked like a team full of confidence and knowing exactly what we were doing. Second half, Casper not turning out and suddenly seeing the change in formation with Macaulay Langstaff coming on. It was a little bit disjointed, I thought, for the start of the second half, but then gradually the players sort of grew into it. The substitutions, everything that we needed to happen sort of happened, and the fact that Coburn come on for Mihailo just gave us more of a focal point, I thought, going forward, and so it proved eventually. I thought the first goal that came in, again, it was Doughty's delivery from the left-hand side. He puts good balls into the box. If it's a bad one, it's very rare, but he puts good balls into good areas, and no matter what happens, you want Femi on the ball in the box, and if he gets there, he invariably hits the target. And yesterday he hit the target, and then it went, and that started the ball rolling. I thought Watford probably huffed and puffed a little bit after that, and when you looked at their individuals, they look so good, but ultimately they're not as strong as a team, I don't think, as our lads showed. Coburn coming on made that difference, and I've got to say, Negley, when he drops into that centre midfield area and gets himself on the ball and gets going forward, he looks a good player to me, and I know people will have their opinions about him, but I think he's getting better and better for us. And suddenly he gets on the ball and he looks like he's looking to play forward. He looks to try and cut teams open, and the ball that he put in for Coburn, a simple pass, but at the same time, how many times we get simple passes that don't go to where they should do? That was a great ball. You can see Coburn's movement, you can see the ball going in, and then he put it away lovely, and then lovely for him to come back and 2 goals in 2 games. But I thought we didn't hold out because I thought we were the better side anyway, and we get to the end of the game, and as much as there was a little bit of shoving and pushing and sort of squaring up, I think Watford aren't that way inclined, and it doesn't suit them at all, does it? To try and get into a dogfight with anybody. And I think that's probably one of my main points in Watford. It doesn't matter who their manager is, and I go back for 3 or 4 seasons now. They've got a style of player that they bring into the club, and I don't think that their style suits playing against Millwall. I think every time they play Millwall, we seem to have the stronger, the more physical presence in the game, and And I think their style of player suits us to bully. And there was no doubt yesterday we bullied them off the park. And they might have individuals who want to get stuck in and that, but ultimately, you know, as a team, our lot took them to the cleaners, and Watford will always be like that. They might beat some good teams, you know, when it comes to open, fast-flowing football and look really lovely, but they didn't look lovely yesterday, and we give them a good kicking. Another point I've got to say about Arrivederci, you know, he plays at left back. He might not be the quickest, and he might not be the fittest looking, but I have to say the quality he's got at his feet. He doesn't give the ball away cheaply, or if he does, it's very, very rare. And he's actually quite strong. When you watch him tackle and you watch him get in one-on-one situations, he's happy to get into a physical confrontation with players, and he comes away with the ball and then gets things going. So the back four yesterday really was very strong, you know, with all four of them just standing up, winning their headers, winning the tackles, getting the ball forward, and looked really good. And then in the centre of the park, if Casper was sort of left out for the second 45 minutes as a managing of his minutes, then what a good stroke. And it was probably a gamble from Alex Neil because we were so dominant first half, but the gamble paid off because what happened second half was excellent. And if it means that Casper's right for Tuesday, then even better, because, you know, we look with him and Billy in there, we look nice and solid. And you could just see defensively yesterday, we look good. And when they get on the ball, we look good as well. So I was happy with that. I think Coventry might give us a slight different problem because I think going forward, they're a little bit quicker, they're a little bit sharper, and their main strikers look a little bit quicker. But again, when we played them early in the season, we were a little bit disjointed ourselves. This time, hopefully, we've got a settled back four that can sort of hold them out. And going forward, we look very handy. I thought the front players, if you like, Negley, Femi Aziz, excellent throughout the whole game or the time they were on the pitch. Ballo, he was our weak link yesterday. I thought he was lightweight. There was a point in the second half, I think, where it might have been the first half, where he actually was in behind their defender, and the defender just sort of ghosted past him to put the ball out. And that was an opportunity that a sort of a quicker winger type player that Ballow's supposed to be would have got away from the defender and done something with the ball. So for me, he was a little bit lost yesterday, a little bit lightweight. He does work hard and likes to put his foot in and that, but I thought he was weak yesterday, and I thought Mihailo didn't contribute a lot to us. I think when he did get the ball a couple of times, he lost possession, give a couple of fouls away, and he just didn't look as up for it as he had done the previous couple of games. And I don't know if that's because Coburn's coming back and he knew that he was at that extra stress of performing. But, you know, him going off, Coburn coming on, did make a massive difference. And I think you've got to give Alex Neil credit for all his decisions yesterday. And obviously, I watched it on the TV, and the crowd and everything that was going there. The only thing you could hear was Millwall. There was so much positivity yesterday, so much support from the side, and on the pitch they did the business. So on to Tuesday night against Coventry, and I'd like to think that we'll give them a better game than we did at our place, and not make any sort of errors that we did when we played them down at the Den. So come on, you Lions.
Here we go again. Oh yes, what a fantastic away win by the mighty Millwall as we completely dominated the game. I did feel that we dominated so much in the first half, we might not be able to keep the intensity or the energy levels up, but silly me for not keeping the faith. Out we came second half, and obviously Watford had been given a bit of a royal rocket at half-time because they came at us with more intent than they showed in the whole of the first half for about 10 minutes or so. But we weathered that, and then blow me down, Arrivederci, lovely cross, Kramer knocks it down, and there's Femi Aziz to smack it in the back of the net. Can't be better than that. 1-0 to Millwall. And then we go on, and we completely dominate as usual. Josh Coburn comes on for what was supposed to be a bit of a, let's get some fitness into the legs exercise. And blow me down, within 5 minutes of him coming on, he's caught onto the end of a fantastic Negley clearance, gone towards the goalkeeper, and yes, thank you very much, slotted it in the corner. Lovely, 2-0. Bye-bye Watford. And come on, you Lions.
Achtung, Millwall.
Who do you want to watch?